Good afternoon, children. Hope you all are fine. Welcome to today's class. Today we are going to discuss some question answer on element, compound and mixture. But before we start our class, I want to suggest you something. Uh, Whenever you are asking any question, uh, you just as you are sending messages and all, so please do send the messages through your email. Otherwise you can't receive the answers. Okay, so go to through your email IDs, you just send the messages, send your queries. Okay, so let's start our today's class. See, this question answers were given from this chapter, element, compound and mixture. So let's discuss the answers. The question was, see, this was the worksheet. So here we in the first question we have to select these are some homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures are given. So here we have to select the homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. So for this we have to make two columns, for one for homogeneous and another for heterogeneous, and we will be writing the mixtures, the homogeneous mixture in the homogeneous column and heterogeneous mixture in this heterogeneous column. Okay, so salt solution, this will be a homogeneous mixture. Salt or sugar solution, this will be a homogeneous mixture. Alcohol and water, homogeneous mixture, as these two are miscible. Air dissolved in water or tap water, that will be a homogeneous mixture. Air itself is homogeneous. This is a mixture of different gases. Fruit juice, this is again homogeneous mixture. And brass, this is an alloy which is a homogeneous mixture of two or more different metals. So these are the homogeneous mixtures. And heterogeneous mixtures are petrol and water, sand and charcoal. These are heterogeneous mixture. Sea water, this is also heterogeneous. And mist, this is also heterogeneous mixture. Okay, next question was definition of this following substances are there. Okay, and this you can get from the study material also. So pure substance definition: a pure substance is made up of only one kind of particles and has a definite composition. Example will be gold, iron, any metal or any non-metal also will be a pure substance, metalloid. Okay, so these are the pure substances. Any compound also can be given for the example of pure substance, like common salt or sugar, like this. These are also pure substances. Pure substance is made up of only one kind of particles and has a definite composition. Okay, next, impure substances. Impure substance is made up of more than one kind of particles and do not have a definite composition. So example will be sugar solution, sand and water. These are okay. Impure substances means example of any mixture can be given for example of impure substance. Okay, and from this you can write down the difference between pure and impure substance also. Okay, next, alloy. Definition of alloy: it's a homogeneous mixture, homogeneous solid mixture of two or more metals or a non-metal and a metal and a non-metal. So there may be in an alloy, it's a mixture of two or more metals, or sometimes along with a metal any non-metal also can be mixed. So these are called alloy. Example will be steel, bronze, etc. Other than this, brass is also there. Okay, so these are the example of alloy. Next, solution: the homogeneous mixture of water or any other solvent. The solvent may be water. The solvent means in which we are dissolving any solute, or we are dissolving any substance. Like if we make a solution of sugar in water, then water will be the solvent and sugar will be the solute, because we are adding sugar in water, so portion of water will be more, so that will act as a solvent. And the solid or sometimes it may be liquid also, the solid or the liquid substance which we are mixing in the solvent, that is called solute. So sugar will be the solute in this case. So what is the definition of solution? The homogeneous mixture of water or any other solvent and a substance soluble in it, which is called solute, is called a solution. The homogeneous mixture of water or any other solvent and a substance soluble in it is called a solution. Okay, next, heterogeneous mixture: the mixture where the components are not uniformly distributed throughout its volume and can be easily seen separately is called heterogeneous mixture. So in heterogeneous mixture, we will not we can see the particles separately, and it is not uniformly distributed throughout its volume. So composition is not same everywhere, concentration is not same, not uniform everywhere in a heterogeneous mixture. So example can be given as muddy water, mud and water, sand and stone, or sand and water, oil and water also can be given as an example for heterogeneous mixture. Okay, next, homogeneous mixture: a mixture is just opposite to the heterogeneous mixture. So a mixture where the components are uniformly distributed throughout its volume and cannot be seen separately is called homogeneous mixture. Okay, example will be tap water, air, or sugar solution, etc. So here in this mixture, the components are uniformly distributed throughout its volume and cannot be seen separately, is called homogeneous mixture. In tap water or in sugar solution, we cannot, once we mix the sugar particles or sugar crystals in water, after mixing it, after dissolving the sugar in water, we cannot see the sugar particles separately in the solution. That's why this is called a homogeneous mixture. Okay, next question was characteristic of mixture. Here you need to write 4 characteristics. So any 4 or the first 4 characteristics you can write here. Okay, so what are the characteristics? A mixture consists of 2 or more pure substances that exist together without any chemical combination between them. This is very important. In a mixture, there will be no chemical combination, no chemical bond between them. They are just they are staying together, but there will be no bond between them. Whereas in compound, we can see that the substances or the elements, they will be combining chemically together, and there will be chemical combination between them in a compound. But for a mixture, there will be, the substances are just staying together, they exist together, but there will be no such chemical combination between them. Next, characteristic of mixture: a mixture may be homogeneous or heterogeneous, both can be there. Next, the component of mixtures vary in their proportions. What is this? In sugar solution, we can sugar in water solution, we can mix 1 spoonful of sugar. If we want, we can add more sugar in it. That means the proportion is not fixed. We can add 1 spoonful of sugar, we can add 2 spoonful of sugar, or we can add more. That will depend on us. So the component of mixture, they vary in their proportions. Next, mixtures do not have fixed melting and boiling point. They depend on the proportion of the components present in them. As proportion in a mixture can be changed, it's not fixed. So melting and boiling points is not fixed for mixtures. Next, the components of mixture can be separated by simple physical methods, as there are no such chemical combination or chemical bond between the components. So components of mixture can be separated by simple physical methods. Next, usually no energy change takes place during the formation of mixture. When we will be forming the mixture, there will be usually no energy change. Next, mixtures cannot be represented by any chemical formula, as there are no such chemical combination between the components of mixture. So mixtures cannot be represented by any chemical formula. Okay, so these are the characteristics of mixture. Next question. Let's see the question once. Give reason. Okay, so the first question was, why do sugar and water retain their individual properties in a sugar solution? Why there will be, suppose in a sugar solution, if we after making the sugar solution, if we test it, then we will be getting the same sweetness of the sugar. That means in the solution also sugar retains its property, and as well as sugar, water also retain its individual property. So what is the reason? So the reason can be given as, in a sugar solution, particles of sugar and water remain separate. There is no chemical bond between them. So just they exist together, sugar and water, they exist together, but there is no chemical bond between them. So both sugar and water retain their individual properties. Okay, next question. Why the mixture of petrol and water is heterogeneous mixture? What is the reason why we will call petrol and the mixture of petrol and water, though both are liquid, but why we will call them a heterogeneous mixture? The reason is, as they are immiscible, petrol and water, if we mix these two, they will not mix together, they will not mix properly, uniformly. Petrol and water, they will make two separate layers. Okay, and as they will form two separate layers, that means they are immiscible. That's why the mixture of petrol and water is heterogeneous mixture. Okay, next, this question, I think I got a mail where in this question you are having some doubt. So let's discuss this. In a solution of in a mixture of iron and sulfur, if we add carbon disulfide, which is a solvent. Carbon disulfide can dissolve certain substances. Okay, so if in a mixture of iron and sulfur, if we add carbon disulfide, it can dissolve sulfur. But if in iron sulfide, if we add the same carbon disulfide in iron sulfide, then it will not dissolve, it cannot dissolve it. What is the reason? So the question is, if we add carbon disulfide, which is a solvent, in a mixture of iron and sulfur, carbon disulfide can dissolve sulfur. But if we add the same carbon disulfide in iron sulfide, this is a compound in iron sulfide which is formed from the same iron and sulfur. So if we add it in iron sulfide, then carbon disulfide cannot dissolve this iron sulfide. What is the reason? The reason behind it is the mixture of iron and sulfur. Here both the components retain their individual properties as there is no chemical bond between them. The mixture of iron and sulfur, both the substances are, both the elements will be there together, but there is no chemical bond between them. So when we will add carbon disulfide in this mixture of iron and sulfur, sulfur get dissolved in it, which is a property of sulfur. So carbon disulfide can dissolve sulfur, but it cannot dissolve iron. So the property of carbon disulfide is to dissolve sulfur, or this we can say as the property of sulfur also. But whenever we will be adding this carbon disulfide in whenever we will be adding this carbon disulfide in iron sulfide, it cannot dissolve iron sulfide, because iron sulfide is a compound where sulfur and iron both has lost its individual property. So as in this compound iron sulfide, both the components have lost its property, so the property of sulfur, which is getting dissolved in carbon disulfide, that will be lost. So sulfur, as sulfur has lost its property in the compound iron sulfide, so now it cannot get dissolved in carbon disulfide. Okay, so this is the reason. Hope now it's clear to you all. Okay, next question. Here we have to give example of this type of mixtures. So solid mixture, this is very easy. Sand and stone, rice and pearls, this can be given as example, or any proper example other than this two you can give. Solid liquid mixture, salt and water, sugar and water, or any other solid liquid mixture you can give here. Sand and water also can be given, okay, or clay and water also can be given. Next, liquid gas mixture, tap water, which is a mixture of air and water. Cold drinks, which is a mixture of syrup or sweetened drink and carbon dioxide, that is also example, that is also can be given as an example for liquid gas mixture. Next, gas mixture, this is very easy. Air where various gases are mixed together along with this can be given as an example, along with oxygen and carbon dioxide. This also can be given as an example for gaseous mixture, or any two gases, mixture of any two gases can be given as an example for this. Okay, next, for these mixtures we have to write down the components. So brass, this is an alloy which is a mixture of copper and zinc. So copper and zinc, these two metals are present in brass. Next, duralumin, this is another alloy. So component of duralumin is aluminium, copper, magnesium, manganese. Aluminium and copper, these two are having the maximum percentage in duralumin, and magnesium and manganese, these are having stresses of amount in this in duralumin. Okay, these two are mixed stresses. Very less amount of this are mixed in duralumin. Next, tap water. This is a mixture of water, air, and dissolved salts. Dissolved salts are there in water along with air. So these are the components of tap water. Next, bronze. This is another alloy which is having component of copper and tin along with zinc also, but the maximum part of it is copper and tin. So these two will be these two are the main component. Okay. Next, the question was, what is the difference between water and air? So water is a compound, air is a mixture. Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen in a fixed proportion by mass, whereas air contains oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide and water vapor, but they are not in a fixed proportion. The amount varies from place to place. So these are the difference. Next, the properties of water are completely different from those of its elements. The property of water are completely different from those of its elements, whereas air retains the properties of its component gases. So whatever gases are mixed in air, all the gases will show their individual properties because there are no chemical bond between them. They just exist together without any chemical bond. Next, water is represented by a molecular formula H2O. So by H2O we can represent water, whereas for air it cannot be represented by any formula because all the gases are mixed together. So for air we cannot represent it by any formula, any chemical formula. Okay. Next, the difference between, the question was difference between compound and mixture. So this already you did, you have done it already, and this you will be getting in the study material only. So what is the difference? Compound is a pure substance, where mixture is an impure substance. Compounds are always homogeneous, whereas mixtures may be homogeneous or heterogeneous. A compound has a fixed composition, that is, it is formed when two or more pure substances chemically combine in a definite ratio by mass, and mixture has no fixed composition, that is, it is formed by mixing two or more substances in any ratio without any chemical reaction. Next, formation of a compound involves a change in energy, whereas formation of a mixture doesn't involve any change in energy. Next, compound have a specific set of properties, whereas mixtures do not have any specific set of properties. Next, components of compound can be separated by complex chemical processes, whereas for mixtures they can be separated by simple physical methods of separation. Okay, so this was the question answer from this first part of this worksheet. Next day, from exercise 1, we did exercise 1 today. Okay, so next day we will be doing the rest of the exercises. We will be discussing the answers. And just a second. And another thing I want to tell you that if you have any query, or if you have in any part of the syllabus, or till now whatever we did in these chapters and all, if you have any doubt, any question, then be specific in which part of the chapter you are having doubt, that you write properly, that you ask properly. Otherwise it's very difficult to understand in which part you are having the doubt. Okay, so just as you are doing, you just go through the worksheets, you read it properly, you practice the question answers, and repeatedly I'm telling that go through the study material properly, then you can answer all the questions your own. Okay, so all the answers you will be getting in the study material. So read line by line, do as you are doing, you just practice the question answers, and no need to worry for the syllabus of unit test and all. So just keep on studying, and just if you have any query, you uh, ask it, or you just send the message through your email, so that I can uh, answer you, or you can the answer will be reaching to you then. Okay, otherwise it will come back to us. So you just keep these things in mind, and just uh, for today, after this only. So we will be meeting in our next class. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you.